Hey there, TikTok hater Jake Mosher here with Spare the Skip. I'm here to tell you all about my favorite albums of 2019 so far. It seemed as if the first part of 2019 was going to be an uneventful year for music. I didn't see that album on the horizon, the one that I could not stop listening to. Well, the music gods delivered. Here are my top 10 albums of 2019 so far. At number 10 is Sucker Punch, the debut album from Norwegian pop singer Sigrid. Sucker Punch is a fun pop record with a synth electro tinge. It sounded similar to if top 40 pop and indie pop had a kid. Sigrid, only 22 years old, rides on the statement that she is authentic, that she is different than other pop stars. She comes across as authentic, but unfortunately, this doesn't do too much to elevate her above other pop stars. Many other stars are authentic too, and with nothing too revolutionary to say, her first album is optimistic fun, but not anything more than that. Her voice, unlike her lyrics, stand out. She stretches her voice at times, going into a rasp, and I love it. If this interests you, I recommend her song, In Vain. At number 9 is another debut album, this one from English rapper Dave. After gaining a lot of critical acclaim, I figured I would give it a listen. This concept album follows a therapy session, focusing on themes of depression, strained relationships, domestic abuse, and racial inequality. This is where the album excels. Dave's writing hits hard. It's smart, thoughtful, and unrelenting. Unfortunately, the production never hits the same highs the lyrics do. He raps over synthetic pianos and bland beats, never switching up his flow. This makes what is happening behind the words a lot less compelling than what he's saying, which sucks because what he is saying is really important. This is most prominent on Leslie, the magnum opus of the album. Here, he raps about the abusive relationship between a girl he met on the train and her boyfriend. The story is captivating and soul-crushing, but with an 11-minute track, the production and delivery needed a bit more. If this interests you, I recommend the songs Psycho and Leslie. At number 8 is This Land, a blues rock album from Gary Clark Jr. This Land finds Clark expanding his sound. From soul to reggae to rock and roll, this album is more than just blues. Bolstered by Clark's versatile vocals and great instrumentation, I dug this album. It just felt a little weird listening to it in the cold month of February. It just feels like a summer album. If you love soul and rock and roll, I recommend the songs This Land, Feeling Like a Million, and The Governor, but they're all pretty good. At number 7, I have The Black Album, Weezer's 13th album. The record continues the California pop rock sound of the White Album and Pacific Daydream. And well, I don't mind. The songwriting isn't great, some of it's cheesy and some of it is just bad. But it's Weezer, so I was having fun. If Weezer is your thing, I recommend High as a Kite, which is by far and away the best song on the album. Coming in at number 6 is Assume Form from English singer-songwriter and producer James Blake. An amalgamation of art pop, R&B, and electronic music, the record fits his sad boy image, but this time with a lot more love. Lyrically, it focuses on his relationship with his girlfriend, Jamila Jamil, one of the stars of The Good Place, and this gives it an appreciated levity. Two of the album's best songs have great features as well, with Rosalia on Barefoot in the Park and Andre 3000 on the hip-hop-infused Where's the Catch. If you want sad boy hours music, I recommend those two songs and the gorgeous track, Are You in Love? Rising to spot number 5 is Wise Blood with her new album, Titanic Rising. This lavish art pop sounds like it was sent to us from the past. The instrumentation is grand and heavenly with a vintage yet futuristic feel. The strings, piano, drums, synths, and more come together to create a very cinematic aesthetic. The album cover matches how I feel when listening to the record. It is sad, it is dreamy, it is special. My biggest disconnect with this album is her voice. As you'll see with my next 4 picks, a voice with a lot of personality goes a long way. She has an amazing voice, but is missing that one thing that pulls you in, which is why it's at number 5. If this sounds like your thing, I recommend the songs A Lot's Gonna Change and Movies. Coming in at number 4, an album that made me break up with my girlfriend because I was bored, is Thank You Next. Ariana Grande, pop superstar, dropped the record less than 5 months after Sweetener. Sweetener received high praise, and I'll be honest, I just thought it was okay. So I didn't expect Ariana to come and sweep me off my feet with this record. With ex-boyfriend Mac Miller's death and the end of her engagement to Pete Davidson, Grande has gone through a lot. Despite this, she comes out strong, confident, and ready to rule pop. Unlike Sweetener, Thank You Next is quite cohesive. It is a pop album with heavy R&B and trap influence from start to finish. This album succeeds because it does this while still having distinguishable songs. The hooks are catchy, the production is infectious, and Grande's voice is as impressive as ever. I recommend Imagine and Ghostin' if you want to give it a try. Coming in real hot at number 3 is Lizzo with her new album, 'Cause I Love You. This pop, soul, rap, and R&B album starts hot and never lets down. Let me tell you, Lizzo deserves to be a superstar. She can outsing anyone, she exudes personality and confidence in every song, and her music is undeniably fun. Cause I Love You is all about self-love, and after listening to the record, you can't help but love yourself too. I can't say this enough, it is so much fun. Lizzo's all over the place here, but it works since the through line is the message, not the music. She raps, she does R&B, and she sings soul with one of the most powerful voices I have heard in a while. The album is only a tight 33 minutes, which means there is zero filler. If you want to love yourself and Lizzo, I recommend the tracks Cause I Love You, Jeremy, and Lingerie, but they're all amazing. Creeping in at number 2 is Billie Eilish's When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go? I'll be honest, I didn't want to like this album. She scares me. Her fan base scares me. I was spooked. But I put her image aside, and thank goodness I did, because this album is great. And no, it's not great for a 17-year-old. It is great, period. Produced and written by her and her brother Phineas, this pop R&B album fits right in with minimalist pop similar to Lorde and Lana Del Rey, although with a darker tone. Characterized by a heavy bass and her fragile, whisper-like voice, the record stands out from its pop counterparts. For someone so prevalent in the pop landscape, she isn't overwhelmed by trends and what other artists are doing. She does what she wants. She says the album was inspired by her night terrors, and that is very much evident. The whole record feels like it has a dark shadow over it, like it is on the verge of falling apart emotionally. The record is not one entire black hole of sadness, though. For more upbeat songs, I recommend Bad Guy and Wish You Were Gay. For the darker side, I recommend Listen Before I Go. But again, they're all great. Finally, coming in at number 1 is Canadian pop-punk band Pup and their new album, Morbid Stuff. This album took me by surprise. I haven't enjoyed a pop-punk album in a long time, and I decided that this one deserved at least one listen. Let me tell ya, I don't know what I've missed out on all these years because Morbid Stuff is amazing. No hyperbole, it is amazing. There are no bad tracks, only banger after banger. The guitars and drums hit hard as they have me playing air instruments every time I listen to the album, which by the way, I have listened to over 20 times all the way through. The lyrics, as hinted at by the album's title, are quite dark, but the band doesn't sound like it is overwhelmed by this darkness. It sounds like they embraced it and channeled it into a sound of freedom, emotional expression, and fun. Lyrics like, just cause you're sad again, it doesn't make you special at all, are sang shouted by Stephen Babcock with so much emotion, you just can't help but do it with him. Speaking of Babcock, his vocals are consistently great throughout, and they are one of the first things that grab me. If this at all appeals to you, and it should, because it is amazing, I recommend the songs Morbid Stuff and Scorpion Hill. But again, it all rocks. If you choose to listen to any of these, I recommend you listen to them from start to finish, as that is how they are all meant to be consumed. Thank you for watching, enjoy these bops, and back to you, hosts.